Good morning. I hope you're good. As always, I hope your weekend was good. It is apparently Monday, I think. I think it's Monday. And we never know. With me, I don't have any reference for time. So yeah, I hope you're good. I hope your day is going great. I've seen that someone has been live for a bit, so that's impressive. I didn't expect that to happen, but it happens. So Sony's been live, which is pretty weird, but it happens. Which is cool. Which is cool. Nonetheless, we have some things that is I'm really sad about it, but also it happens. That are kind of news, but not news, but kind of news. As the title implies, I broke everything again. Ah, goddamn! Would you look at that? I broke everything as if it was news. Yeah, that happens so often, which is pretty annoying. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. We have seen things though. So yeah, we have some half news, some kind of news. Let me just plug that in because it will probably make more sense if I do that. But yeah, CyberSec, hi, welcome on in. Um, that no, that yes. Hmm. Where you in? Yeah. Cool. Straight up, straight up. So this is updated, and I hate it, but I also don't have a choice. Basically, I had an issue. I have plenty, but I had an issue. That issue was if I started a quiz and I ended up on a question like this one, which is like though at hi, we'll go on it. Though needs to be linked to that character right here at the bottom one. And what happened is the quiz system was saying this is the character to learn, and so this is the thing that I need to update progress on. Which means that in my user default, where I store data and so on, I had records with progress for a character like called Do. That doesn't exist. It's not a thing. It's not a thing because we use the Japanese characters, which are unique by themselves, kinda, to track progress. So it was a bit of a mess. So I had to create a referral notice type of thing where instead of using the character to learn, it used like a resolve mechanism that was saying, well, this is the current question. The current question is coming from the source character, and therefore the source character is going to be the thing that you need to upgrade progress or increase progress on. Cool. So I did that. And as soon as I did that, the navigation from whichever page to the profile view, and you can still see there is a bit of a lag, took roughly 210 seconds, give or take. So 3 minutes-ish. Just to load. Just to load. And that was not good. That wasn't good at all. So I had to revert to a state where it was okay and then figure out why that was happening. And I couldn't, so I went back to where I was with the issue and basically removed the card that we had here last week, like right there. And we had something, and then the new one, at the bottom, uh, is now replacing it. And so it seems that the analytics view card thingy that is the trigger right here, that was the issue because it needed to kind of hold the data or figure out the data for the analytics beforehand. So work. AV. So I had to revert that, and now I'm using a file storage system for the progress and analytics, which makes absolutely no sense because it's not that much data, but I kind of understand. Like from what I read is that because I was using the user default, which is something that is quick access, but like in the info.p list file type thingy, I forgot. It's been a weird thing. It's not really efficient. So going with a file storage that is on device-ish, like a JSON format thingy, is much faster. So that's what we have now. The thing is, with that new file storage system, I end up with not having the ability to get the data at all. So I'm like half stuck with my ability to do things, and it kind of works, but it also kind of don't. Technically speaking, I don't really care, mainly because uh, no one in the app right now has access to these features. So I'm the only one to test it out, and so I'm the only one to have data. And what I've done is ensure that we are not creating fake data. In the beginning, I was saying let's create fake data for the users. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, that's dumb. That don't do that. So I don't do that now. Uh, Technically, it doesn't change anything, right? The new users or old users will just have the new feature, and they will have to go through things like have more question practice, at least 15 questions, so that we can detect patterns and trends and things. But goddamn, like this thing, for example, like the JLPT breakdown, um, it's stating that there is no PUBG data available. But if you just go back here, we do. We already do. We have the data. And so yeah, other than that, the app basically needs a rebuild. That's what's happening right now, and it's pissing me off. But it basically needs a rebuild with the things in ways that makes more sense. But yeah, like the whole navigation system needs to change. So right now, based on future iOS update and how things are supposed to be kind of moving around based on current iOS, um, there are some elements that I would have to reorganize, as we saw in some of the tweets that I posted last week, 2 weeks ago, um, about the fact that the search was at the bottom of the screen instead of somewhere else. That Millie, hi, welcome back. Welcome back. Also, cat, good bedtime, good bedtime. Um, so that's a thing. Um, and one of the things that I caught myself try to do instinctively, which implies that there is like a bias in something in apps that exist that I kind of need to implement here, is reach for the question mark at the top right corner, right there, uh, to access my profile as if this was where it's supposed to be, instead of being at the bottom of the squiggly thing. So that might be something that happens that would give me the ability to replace the profile in the bottom with the search, which was the issue. So we'll see. But I also don't want to change everything, but I also kind of see that I could see potentially change everything. So, it happens. Khalil, hi, welcome back. How are you? How's everything? How's everything? So yeah, that's unfortunate, but yeah, the navigation is probably going to change, and therefore my edge on, I mean, I'm edging a lot, but like my edge on the navigation being a bit more interesting and non-common, is probably going to go away, which is really sad, and I don't like it. Also, we have Matt right now. I don't know why we have some Matts, but we have some Matts. Um, Crosskeys, hi, what got it? It's going away because of iOS 26 and because of basically what needs to happen for me right now is a full rewrite of the app. Um, Like it's uh it's too much inconsistent things and uh and
Melissa
stuff that
Toes just
shouldn't.
resubscribed for 19 months. AA or AHI.
Thanks for the resub, Benny. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Why? 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 Ah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. You just wanted the emotes. Yeah, I know. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Uh, it's either I'm figuring out how to get the search system, which is by default kind of hidden. Like you can't really see that it's there. You just need to, do that. Otherwise, you don't fucking know. And same thing, like if you navigate from Hannah to radicals or whatever, if you have scrolled, you don't really know that there is a scroll or scroll a search. So I mean, there is no search here. But if you're there, right, you don't fucking know, and then oh, guess what? There is a search. Oh, amazing. So mm, I don't know. Um, and yeah, I see. That's not good news. It is somehow my fault. Hmm. I see. You were too invested. I see. I appreciate it though. Hi, welcome back. No, I think. Did you ask the same thing last time? I feel like you did. Yes, you did. That was your first your first message as well. You did. You did. Ah, welcome back. I hope you're good. So yeah, so this thing, shit, that's the wrong button. This thing here probably either gonna need a rewrite in navigation system or rewrite in its entirety. And because I can't hire like a dev to help me with this, it's just gonna be on me. And with that, um, I really don't like cursor lately. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. If I have it somewhere, I have, yeah. So when I'm in the paid tier of cursor, this is what's happening. It's doing tool for one line edits. And when I'm not, like right now, I'm back in the free tier, um, it's doing tool for like 109 lines of code. Sometimes you have like singles, but like you do have massive rewrites of things. And that makes no sense. When I'm on, I think I'm using the same thing. I don't like to, I mean, I don't care, but I don't like to combine different thinking models to output something different. Like they have different way of thinking and therefore thinking, and therefore we end up with things that are really, really different. But basically, my subscription is updating itself on the 19th. If you don't know, if you haven't seen, today is the 23rd. On the 22nd, which is yesterday morning, I run out of credits, basically, in a day and a half because it's doing this all the time. When you're in the paid tier, it's like, yeah, babe. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I do have a lot of concept of code cross keys. That's why I already achieved so much. It's because I have concept of code, not necessarily uh, because I know how to code. But and again, I think I said that before. The fact that I have concept is way more efficient than if I had knowledge. I know, crazy, but yeah, it's a thing. So I right now it's not like it's the part of the code that I don't understand in terms of data structure, and um, that is the issue. So yeah, I mean, what I'm doing lately is basically this. I go through uh, load on its own outside of cursor. We go through the whole thing, like what's breaking, what's not breaking, where do we have issues, where do we not have issues. We create like a markdown file that contains all the thing that needs to be contained to explain like the current state of things, because obviously I can't explain everything, but I do understand the points. I'm making like adjustments here and there, and then when this is done, this is basically what is in my chat message saying, well, we have done this, and then we have references of the file that we have created, and we're supposed to do something. Like right now, for example, I was trying to do the native iOS subscription page, but it doesn't work for um, my lifetime thing. So I had to revert for just the small details. But yeah, like that whole thing is the usual behavior. Just go through, create like some sort of a markdown file to list out what we need to do, ensure that I agree with what I have here, and keep. The thing that I'm also seeing is because of all of the amount of addition and the amount of creativity that Claude 4 and Claude 3.7 have taken, I ended up with like too many files for things that, in my eyes, shouldn't be that complex. So I do understand that there are some things that need complexity, or that are more complex than others for sure, but not that complex. Like the fact that we have in the analytics view 25-ish files for something that is just technically gathering data and then doing something with the data is kind of wild. It is kind of wild to me. So nonetheless, a bit of a it's a bit of a mess. But yeah, the main issue that we have is this. Like right now for iOS 26. And so that's why the navigation might change. Because right now I can't like just bump everything up by 60 pixels and have like 3 lines of content. It makes no sense. No sense. Uh, but yeah, so right now we moved into a file storage system for the base repetition system analytics and analytics systems. And maybe, I mean, it is better. It it still has a less slight lag when you go into the profile page. Like, I don't understand why, but it's there. And most people don't have as much dirt as me on their system, which makes sense. Like, I'm the only one to have combined key changes, other attempts of testing right on this app specifically. So it makes sense that it's a bit more buggy on my side. But if it is, it means that for some other users, it's going to be buggy at some point. One of the things that is good though, because things are good at times. Um, this thing right about here is um, It's really good. I had to pay for this thing. I had to pay. I love this bitch ass tiny flowy things on the side. I'm streaming at the same time, so it's a bit more broken. But yeah, this is a very cute thing. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. Basically, what it does is it gives me the ability to do some things in local storage in my attempt things. I can open the user default and check out like, oh, did the dirty settings is on? Yes, no, and I can just put that on and off. And then when I'm relaunching the app, I'm getting some stuff uh, working. I can also check the thing that I was talking about earlier, which is the uh, I mean, not overall, but like the progress on character, like the dirty character's progress here. You can see how this one couldn't exist. Like these two are not supposed to exist, and that whole system is kind of weird. But it happens. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. I try to remove them, but I can't do that. That's something that I don't understand yet. But yeah, and I would agree with that, Kroskis, but I also don't agree. I do think that overall the app is complex, but it's not that complex. Like everything is happening on device, which to me as a non-backend person means that it's very it needs to be very simple. It needs to be as efficient as it can because it runs on device. So you can't really have something that is taxing the system too much. So it's just a list of characters. Yes, there is like 13,000 characters, but it's not that much. And since I introduced the space repetition system tracking data, now I have 13,000 characters plus, or technically times six. I understand. I understand the lags, but still, there is a lot of things that are not supposed to take that long, specifically for these new devices that we have. And the thing that I hate personally is that I have like a 15 Pro Max, which is like 2 years old. I know. But if it's lagging on mine, I'm I don't want to see how it looks on other iPhones. Like it's just going to be really bad. So it needs to be optimized, it needs to work, and it needs to be simple. And the system was simple until I introduced the space position system tracking. Maybe I will remove it. Maybe I will not release it to just have the system in the background to organize some data and not display some data. I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't like I have things to fix that are currently in production that I have fixed and I have add an ID and then I try to implement the thing and I've been at it for months. So I might just revert everything again to the version that is just before the space repetition system. Um, but yeah, yep. It's so the thing is the one that is in cursor is good enough. I can have the best one if I pay more, which is not the case right now because I paid 4 years for cursor, so I'm kind of locked in. And in Flow directly, I have access to the most biggest token window thingy, context window that also like basically goes there. Let me just, you know what? Let me just show you. That's gonna be way faster. If I'm here and I'm saying I'm gonna use Opus, which is like way more consuming in terms of my limits per day, but I'm from there because this one is way more complex and competitive. I can then log it in with my repo directly. As you can see, just a basic file is taking 10,000% off the context window. So I only have the ability to use, uh, well, less, just less. The reason for this, just because, it's kind of funny to showcase this. The data source is what takes 4,000%, and the asset is what takes 5,000%. So technically speaking, if I take everything except these two things, which are not necessary, it's just 460%, 65. So that's better, but I'm still losing like a lot of things. And so when I'm really targeting stuff, as in I need to work on the cloud kit and potentially like the analytics section, I'm gonna do that. If I need to, like just do the sync system, I'm just gonna go through something else and so on. That's really useful because it can and it has like a greater understanding because it sees all the links in between the files and so on. So that's good. But still, still not the greatest. So overall, what happens here is that it's just a mess because the context window that I have in Cursor is way more limited. And the only one that has a good enough context window is Gemini, is like 120,000 tokens. And it's cheaper, which is really good. But its output is not good. So I I basically switched to Gemini 2.5 when I'm in need of uh, a lot of fixes in one file. Like let's say I needed to remove all the logs just because I don't want to do that manually and it pisses me off and I have like 50 files to remove all of the logs because Apple doesn't really allow you to have logs that go in uh, the thing that is going to go to the users for some reason. I don't really understand why, but it happens. And when I don't want to do that, I just use this one to just go through and clean up the database. The code base, not the database. Code name. It's a mess. It's a mess. No complaining there. I mean, a lot of complaining there, but like all of these things that I've put in place have been good, but not great. And I should really do the tech that you were talking about. I know, I know. It's just like it's more back end than front end, and therefore it's not really matching with what I have in my head and my mental model of how things work is skewed and limited, which obviously limits my ability to do stuff. So I think I mean, for me right now, the easiest thing is going to be remove analytics for the release so that I can basically patch the current big ass bug that I should have patched a month ago in here. Doesn't really make any sense to any of you. It's like basically this kanji right here, Ike, um, is to go, but it also exists as uh, a different reading, but with the same kanji. So you have that kanji and that hiragana right there that are basically tied to the same key. And so the key that is stored on device is that these two characters, and that's it. Like that's what we have currently. Therefore, when you are here and you have more chunks, you might see that chunk 4, for example, has progress already because you have progress on this one. It makes absolutely no sense that you have progress here, but you do. And so, with that in mind, that's a fix that I need to put in place. It is in place. It's working now, but it's just not pushed to production, and I should have done that. So as I just said, I might just have to revert everything, implement the two fixes that I need to have, push that to production, and then continue working on the SRS system. SRS system makes no sense. The space for position system. And then push that again. But God damn. It's a mess. I hate it. And on top of that, the audio system that I have, which is the AV Foundation thingy, I forgot the name exactly, doesn't work on the latest version of iOS, which is, you know, thank you, Apple, for changing the systems. So my phone cannot create sounds right now. The preview does, but my phone cannot. Hmm. It's just, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. So the good thing is, as any dev happened, I absolutely know how to name my commits, um, with things that just that just make sense. You know, like yeah, yeah, that this one, great, perfect. Uh, the thing that is kind of crazy to me is when I have stuff that are um I mean basically this. The the fact that you have so much new files, so much changes, I think the shit like this is like a bit too much in terms of the amount of changes. Like just four files changed to have a fix somewhere that makes sense. But like that, no. But yeah, that, it's I'm really hurting or hitting my limits in understanding specifically of backends and data structure. Every time I need to touch the data stuff, like the content analytics and the content distribution across the app and how things are supposed to behave together or not together, and is where every time I have like a lot of issue. And you're right. Going back to what you said earlier, it's probably because I don't have enough understanding of that specific topic, which I tried to get that understanding. I couldn't. Um, but it will come. It will come. I would say the only really positive thing that I have is that because I'm testing the app and I'm testing the quizzes, and specifically I've been testing the quizzes on dictionary, I've been flying through the entire 1000 dictionary and I'm almost half through, and I have learned so many words. Not, I mean, it was the plan. The plan was to make the app useful for me to learn words in Japanese, and now because I'm testing it, I'm learning words in Japanese. Good, but goddamn, that's that seems a bit dumb of a move. I think I said that in one of the videos that is gonna be released on YouTube at some point soon, where I'm comparing An and Anki. Anki is like the industry standards for base repetition system, but basically the thing that we don't like about Anki, or at least I don't, is the fact that you need to learn how the app works and tweak the settings and ensure that things are aligned with your way of learning things, and then you need to look for decks and content and ensure that the content of the decks is the right one. Otherwise, you need to create your own decks. But like with the way that I'm learning, creating my own decks makes no sense because I would put words that I kind of know in there, like I've seen at least 3 times to figure out that, oh yeah, this thing I don't know, and then I put it in the deck. and that just is way too much work. And so I think in the article that I wrote and in the video that I published, or I'm about to publish, I basically say something along the line of I didn't want to become like a software engineer to learn how to learn Japanese, basically. But then I mean, I kind of did. I built my own app, so I kind of have to. It's kind of true. Yeah, like the, the mix of ensuring that I'm going through the whole system. Like I'm on a streak of 112 days on this Android phone. I lost my 106 on the other Android phone, and I'm on a 120 something on the iPhone. So I'm basically practicing three different dictionaries at the same time, just to test the app, make sure that everything works. And it's a lot. It's a lot of learnings, which is really good. Was the point? Was the point? At some point, it will be better. God damn. Anyways, we have some very, very, very little amount of reviews for today, to be honest. Um, since Friday, I don't know what happened. I have been working so much that I have lost track of what we've done. So, yeah, I think this is where we stopped. We stopped on this one last Friday, and then I saw that the next day. So Jay has created the SVG filter that is basically doing some similar things to Apple Liquid Glass. Um, and it just basically track what is in the vicinity of said container, and then have some reflections here and there, which is really cool. We had like a bit more explanation of how that works, but overall, as always, Jay is doing pretty good things, and we like it. So take a look at what has been done. Take a look at this. It's really interesting and nice to just follow through. Some people have been creating bread with Figma Draw, and I'm impressed. And this is vector editing. I I like this. I think this is really cool. I think the creation here and the ideas, the texture that is achieved, even though very I say that sterile and the same everywhere. Like it's homogen. Homogen is probably the word I was looking for. Yes. Uh, it's still really impressive to be able to do that as an SVG and then potentially export that as an SVG. As always, the thing that you export in Figma in SVG are breaking because browsers are not meant to display this in a regular div. Like it needs to be in a Canva to be able to do this. Well, it's pretty impressive. So that happened. We had this, we talked about it before. Chris, hi, what morning? How are you? I got squirted in my face. We talked about this before. That person is creating the most efficient uh, thing that I've seen in a long time. This is just hover, it's not clicking. Like that's the level of efficiency that I wish to have. So, um, it looks like it's airbrush. Yes. Specifically that section right there, it does look like this. It's really simple to achieve, to be honest. Like again, I'm that's the wrong thing. I know how to do this in terms of you basically just have one of these. And in order to get the transition, you not that. Right, let's make that a bit bigger. Let's make just round here and round there, right? That's the thing. In order to get the transition that you want to have, you ensure that this thing is taking some sort of a gradient from white to white. Here's what, at like 10% or something, right, to get the transition. And then on top of that, you get one of the effects that is probably going to be the layer blur with a progressive layer blur, so that around here it's going to be more blurred, and around there it's going to be less blurred. So just do that like so. On top of that, you just add texture, and so that texture is going to take more effect, more impact, more whatever, and maybe something around here, maybe just 1.5. That gives you the brushed effect. So that's how this is done. Like, there is a lot more details in there, but that's basically how it's done. I have seen the new cursor pricing, but I want to downgrade and I can't downgrade because I paid for a year and they don't want me to go back to their regular pricing. It's really sad, Chris. Yeah, I wish I could. I can't. Yeah, no, I do like it. We've been trying to make or add texture to things in Figma for a while, and a lot of plugins exist to add textures for that specific reason. And so creating these like really uncommon shapes helps a ton to create these textures and these effects in a way that people will recognize as red. I have like another like from that person a bit above that. Not, I mean, to be honest, not much. I like this. This is mostly for Yan. Yan has like an app that would benefit from this 100%. Kept that for that. Um, the J that we just shared. And this thing, again, you can use the polishing cloth to remove the fingerprints. Ah, ah, I think this is a great idea. And then what have we seen? Not much, to be honest. Like, there hasn't been. I mean, I haven't been on the internet for 3 days, basically. I've just been doing things on the app, trying to fix my shit and failing as always. But yeah, this was cool. I don't know if this was made uh, in Figma or in somewhere else. It looks like it should be something like Blender or Cinema 4D to get like that texture and these rendering, and specifically with the refraction on the edges. I feel like that HDR needs to, or HDRI needs to be in a 3D software to get like that rendering. But might be wrong. I might be wrong. Some of the thing that I've seen also is the rebrand of Windsurf that is really good for once. We've talked about it before. Uh, that Windsurf. I mean, we talked about the initial thing, the initial look of Windsurf, which was really bad, and that is really good. Their whole system, their whole new brand identity, and the idea that they have behind the wave, and the very Atari E branding that they have made is really interesting to me, based on the current design landscape. Like, most people are going kind of flat-ish or kind of corporate, as well. And then right now they're going into a lot of gradients, a lot of bright colors, a lot of really simple animations, but also a lot of wavy things that just works. And we've been like getting on a lot of people for their rebrands and a lot of brands for their rebrands. I think Windsurf has done an amazing job um, in there because, it's a thing. The thing that is really good for me is that the people that have worked on that is MetaLab. And MetaLab is one of the company that one of our mods here used to work at. So when they win, we like it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But yeah, most of the things are really good. I really like this, to be honest. The design is really cool. Specifically, for no specific reason other than the fact that this used to be my background on stream, like similar to this, way too similar to this. So, like if we go back in the vault, we can see some of these in the past. So, it's fun. It's good. It's a good rebrand. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. These ones were cute. Like just this one. This one is really cute. Thing that I don't understand is why or how they achieve both sides of blur or radial blur thingy. That's not a thing that is native in Figma. If that has been made in Figma, if it's not, then I understand. But yeah, more details. We've had this on. I don't know why my brain is going in Strava and Fitbit for these, but we had like similar toggles in the past. So nice to see. It's nice to see. That's about it. Same thing. This is from Jan, as always, really good. And then, other than that, it's not working. It's really good. It's pissing me off already. I mean, it was pissing me off before I started, so not great. But yeah, I mean, as I said, the post that I made last week got too much hate, but also a lot of views, which was pretty good. And the post that I've made on LinkedIn is popping off, but it's not the right one. The one that popped off is this one. For no fucking reason. Like last week, when we talked about it, we had 10,000 views or something. We are currently sitting on 77,000 views. Which, again, right, doesn't mean much. But I don't have 70,000 connection on LinkedIn. So, you know, uh, it seems that this is popping off. I don't know why. I uh, I don't. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. But then also in the people that are like replying, um, like this reply that I have with the thing here is like that person said, "Where did you see this exactly?" And I don't know exactly I don't know the tone. As always, like in how can I say, in messages, in text, tone just doesn't work, right? I don't know if this is like an inquisitive thing. Where did you see this exactly? Or if it's just an open question. Where did you see this? I don't know. But also I'm like, I'm giving you all the information you need to open Google and type the two names that I've mentioned to figure out where the things are coming from. And I I don't know, like same thing there. Like that person is saying it's not out yet, and we're not sure how long it will take before we can use it. And I'm like, yes, that's have you read the post? Like it's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't know. But also it is LinkedIn, so that's I hate LinkedIn overall. It's the one that I had like today, the post of today was really simple from one of my first agency or technically third agency work where I blew away one of the designer that was in there. And yeah, like this one was fun. I, you know, happens. But yeah. Uh, I would probably call it test. Probably. For no reason. For no reason. Like the test team makes sense. Morton, hi. Welcome on in. Welcome back. So that's working. Grace, to answer your question. But not in the right way. It is like increasing my profile view, which is good. It is also increasing my impression view, which is good potentially. You can see the trend over time. Like most of my posts are like 20,000 impression view, whatever in total, but like one of them, like they on that day, 25,000 is kind of crazy. Um, so we'll see. But yeah, the other ones are like crying right now. Right? Uh, the thing is, there is nothing. The thing is, there is nothing that's weird. There is really nothing that I can pull out of this, technically. Hey, huh, welcome back. I, uh, I think they have some views. I think interactions is much more important. Like the people that basically liked or did other things, like the 295 people that have liked the post is probably the realistic um, numbers that I have here, right? Um, appreciate it. Uh, but yeah, there is like many things that happens when I'm on LinkedIn, which I'm doing my best to not be. Like if I'm here, the amount of thing that happens, I see that it's a Soren post. I know it's gonna be good. I'm probably just gonna like it before I look at it. Like it's just I'm conditioned. So there is that. That's the first thing. There is also the fact that LinkedIn is officially still a networking slash finding a job platform. So when someone is looking for like a someone to hire and so on, I could be doing something, but you know, I don't know if I would do that. I would see or I can see how this could be really beneficial. I think the what would work for marketing for myself is going to be or should be, which I will probably never do, look for the post. Like there is one person in my circle of connection, which I wish I could find, that is someone that is living in Japan and speaking about people not necessarily uh, needing Japanese to succeed as finding a job in Japan. And so that's the type of post to which I should have like interaction with. So that the algorithm of LinkedIn recognize that yes, so that person is interested in Japanese related content or learning Japanese related content for job in Japan because I'm currently marked as living in Tokyo and on LinkedIn for that same reason. It makes sense. The posts that I have made that are related to um like learning Japanese words. You know, all of that kind of makes sense, but yeah, like all the design related things make sense as well. Like I kind of need to have that. So that's the thing. That's the one that is a bit annoying. Or if you have never seen this one is really good. Uh, of a video to check, like, can you check? Can you know which one is AI, which one is not AI? I think it's pretty simple. Um, but also there is something about it that I'm like, I have a lot of pattern recognition, and there is no way that you're going to do 1 1 1 1 1 1 in terms of uh, what's right, what's wrong. So if you start and I figured out that this one is AI, the next one is probably going to be this one for sure. And then in order to skew me, this one is going to be real and this one is going to be AI as well. Followed by for sure the top one going to be AI. And then because I would say it's either this or this for the last one, I'm probably going to say that the top one is the false one. And yeah, like that's usually what happens. Like the pattern recognition is really too strong for these types of videos. But yeah, the thing is, the when you look at these two, it there is a tail that is like absolutely visible. When you look at these two, I feel like I could have went for this as AI generated if I didn't pay attention too much. These two, there is there's no question. The goddamn, that's loud. This thing, there is no movement at all. And then here you have some waves that are created out of nowhere. So yeah. But yeah, I do agree that it kind of looked flat at times. The eyes are just crazy. Nonetheless, that's the type of thing that I should do. I should go into there and have interactions with the people that are posting things like this, for example, and just look at the whole carousel, react, have comments, replies, and so on, which is what grows your platform on LinkedIn. And I just hate it. I just hate doing this. Um, but yeah, as I just said, I have no way of extracting anything really right here that is or that would be the reason why the post has exploded. Like, I'm talking about liquid glass from Apple. So that's already like old news. I'm talking about Figma, which for the designer sphere makes sense, but I'm thinking that, you know, Apple is the thing. Then I'm talking about acquisition, which is business related. And then I'm talking about team and expectation from teams, which is like also business related, but internal. I'm basically covering the four pillars of the thing. And I haven't done anything for payload because I don't know payload enough. Uh, and also because I think that the implementation, like I have a hard time knowing if payload has been acquired prior config or if it was not. I think yes, but I don't know. And so because of that, I can't really pattern recognition my way through. Like this is pattern recognition from me going into this thing, I mean, technically thing with I'm gonna have and I think that yes, that right, the pattern that I had was the last post that they made was December 6th, 2024. And before that, they had basically no post uh like from themselves. Like the only thing they said was like February. So they probably got acquired in February, which was the first announcement that was kind of silent and then was rebranded as February of this year's. But then when you go on payload, profile, there is like there is post. Like that's the thing. There is post. They are talking about it, and they have been talking about a lot of things for a lot of time. There is like post almost every day, so there is not a very specific point in time where they stopped doing content because the acquisition was taking over. So for me to just guesstimate where that happens, it's way harder than the one for Modify for sure. But yeah, um, yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying it's probably before because the CMS things in Figma site, but also I don't know. I don't know. And like because they have announced the feature before they announced the acquisition, the timeline is different compared to Modify where they announced the feature. I mean, they announced the acquisition before the feature. So that's the timeline. I could do a post the same way, but yeah. Would I leave Figma? Yes, 100%. If Sketch worked, I would have left Figma a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, probably. It's just not good enough. Like, in order for me to leave Figma, I need something that is at least at the same level, and if not above than the Figma level of quality overall. It's getting shit, which is good for me, and leaving. But like the performance that they have claimed was really much better isn't. And all of the thing that they have been talking about is not really in place. They have implemented things really weirdly, and I don't like it, and so on. But yeah, if Sketch was still better, I would 100% go in Sketch because it's not that, because it's just, um, you know, it specifically speaking, it's so much better. Oh, god damn. Like for Mac users, which is my case, Sketch is good. Their new features are really good. The thing that I don't like and the reason why I'm not there yet is because I'm used to Figma so much. I'm used to shortcuts so much that this will take me a week and a half, 2 weeks to get used to the new thing. And it would limit me as a freelancer to be able to work with clients in a way. Like having a client inside of Sketch is an option, but they can't really have the same interactivities that Figma provide, which if that makes sense. So that's the reason. I mean, that's one of the reasons. um, but yeah, like me too. To be honest, I am much faster here than in Figma now. Because first of all, not doing much, but in in code with cursor, it's just so much faster to go from an ID to something here. Like it just makes sense. And I can do that in no time. And then I have something that just works. I don't have to think about, oh, does it work? Does it not work? Am I good? Am I not good? Like, would this thing be usable? No, I'm just using it. And if it doesn't work in my hands, then does it work? And I need to change something. But having to do that here and go through, like, for example, let's say that this is the thing that we are building for some reason. And I'm the designer and I have a landing page, and that's the landing page that I want to test out. So I'm designing the thing. I'm doing it in Figma and I don't know how to code. And the time that it takes me, which is probably be, let's say, a day to be wild, to end up on this specific layout. Uh, a day for this is crazy. 15 minutes. the the fact that it's going to take the same amount of time to a dev to put in place, and then double that to put in place in test sessions, and then after that, um, get some feedbacks and some information that's going to take some time. Whereas if I code that directly with whatever tools you use, and I don't spend the time of figuring out the layout inside of Figma, I'm getting to the A/B test in a day, and I'm getting the results in a week, rather than having like adding the new landing page to the sprint that is next week, plus then adding the new analytics to the next sprint, plus introducing the A/B testing or A/B testing in the third weeks. Asa. Like that's the latency that I think Figma is trying to patch with Figma sites and other things. But from what we have tested, it's not that good. So yeah. But technically, yes, I would 100% leave Figma if something else comes along that is a bit better. Um, the one that we've talked about that we have kind of showcased really, really quickly was one of the people, I don't know exactly who they are and what they do, but one person had done or created a visual way to interact with cursor. So there was a thing that lived right about here. And so instead of having the code, you had a visual Canva like Escalibur type of thing. And you ended up with the ability to just design something in a year or see directly what is built. So the same way that Figma AI stuff is generating like a design, and you can see how it's built, or Lovable or other products. If I don't leave the tool that I'm using, then it makes sense. So Figma is doing the same thing, right? Right now they are trying to make me stay here as much as they can to generate like a website, generate like a something that is attractive and so on. But it just doesn't really work. So yeah. The current thing that is the best option to optimize and improve the Figma code workflow is to introduce an MCP right there. Like, you go in Cursor, your devs are going to be in Cursor. You go in your MCP tabs, wherever it is. I forgot where it is, but it's somewhere. Like, I know they have like one-click instruction. I don't know exactly where it is. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. You just install the Figma MCP that you need to have, and then you're done. It's right there, right in front of my face. Once you have this, and that you can communicate with Figma, and Cursor can interact with Figma, do stuff in there, Figma can interact with Cursor at the same time, and the basic API system works, that would work. But yeah. Yes, it does. It does, 100%. You need your file to be as clean as they can be to be able to generate something that is as clean as it can be. So if I'm here and I have this whole thing that is currently named properly, ish, at least, right? Knowing that this is a container, this is the content, this is going to be the text container, which has like both of the text, that has the badge at the top, the claim, the subheading with the things, that will make sense.
Block
Blockbill.
underscore bell raided my stream with 3 viewers.
That's a nice profile picture. Welcome on in. How are you? Who are you? I think it's the first time I'm seeing you here. Ghost, welcome on in. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Ahoy. I'm the helping designer. If you have any design question, feel free to ask. Block, you've been here before. I see that. I see that. Do you like? Welcome on in. Interesting. I should be wearing a wig. Yes, yes, good, 100%, 100%. It is it is there. It happens. It needs to go out soon. Like it's pissing me off. DMC, Devil May Cry, I guess. Maybe. You're in male discords. That makes sense. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I I wish I had shorter hair right now, but the goal is something else. Yeah, I haven't. I think have I played it? I think I have. When I was in school. Been a while. It's been a while. Is it different? I don't know. I don't play games, so I don't know. That's the situation. That is the situation. We are currently talking about like Figma and code and AI in general to help people work together. And right now there was a question about naming your layers inside of Figma to get something good as an outcome. That's the thing. So yeah. Uh, hmm. I see. I see. I see. Yeah. So right now the goal, at least from my point of view, of my hair is somewhere along the line of this. That's the target. So I have enough length right now to cut it back and get the thing that I want to have. But because I used to have longer hair and I like to have longer hair, I might do a mix of this and some, yes, the blue too. I want to go back to blue. I want to go back to blue. I do like this. Obviously, this is not the same, but I do like this kind of length. I like this blue as well. Um, but yeah, if you've not been here before, you might not know. You might not have seen much, to be honest. Um, and it makes sense. It makes sense. But somewhere along the line of right about here, when I was in the plane, you know, I mean, hair used to be blue, very much blue. So that is something. Yeah, and employers have, uh, weirdly enough, like, I can go back there. The hair implantation that he has, I think G-Tag. Ah, we'll call it also Dapshi. Hi, we'll call him. Like, it's kind of not the same. Obviously, I'm going further in because, I don't have the money that he has. But that um, is a similar head shape that I have. Not the chin, but the top. And so it kind of works. The same thing with sometimes I have Jude Law, which is way further in, or Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston has a very similar implantation to me, or than me, like similar to this. Right, we're going in. It's happening. So getting some references for people that have like similar implantation is really good. They're not gonna get implants. No transplant happening. But yeah, like something that kind of works where you can kind of see that. Yeah, it's going out anyways. So I had all the colors that we seen here. I had this pink, which was really good. I had this blue. I I didn't have this though. I will never have this. because so, um, you have been here for a while. Why did you change your name? That's the thing. I don't think you did. God damn, why is my brain blanking? Well, welcome back, nonetheless. That might be the reason. That might be the reason. This is my favorite color on myself, has always been, and will probably always be. But I don't know if I have. I mean, I know I have, and from far away, you can't see these. There are some ass in there that not allowed to see. And I know that when I'm gonna zoom in, I'm gonna see some ass from here. I was right. Dang, that was really good. That was a really good overall color, overall length, overall shape, but also yeah. The thing is, Henry Cavill has a very different head shape, like very different head shape. Like he has the jaw that I don't have. You know. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'm not. Like I could say I have something similar in terms of right here, not the chin though, not there, at all, at all. But though you can see that that's really good to see that when he was younger he had hair here and now he doesn't. Hmm? Hmm? But yeah, the shape is, I mean, the head shape is really different, at least from mine, so I can't really take that as a reference. And same thing, Tommy Hiddleston is really similar in terms of uh, hair implantation, and then it's a thing. But yeah, specifically lately around here because lucky and all that. But same thing, they have like flat chins. I don't have a flat. I mean, I do, but I don't have a. I'm round. I have some. Yeah, I have some. Some at least something around there. So yeah, I think the one that I took as a reference as well was Jude Law for a while because it's just like similar. I'm not there yet, but I'm kind of going in that direction. Anyways, it will happen. Maybe I don't know, unless I'm getting that treatment that is gonna be available in 5 years. Yes, I know. Yeah, all the low key things are interesting nonetheless. But yeah, the hair has grown. So it's the initial question. Anyways, back to this. We haven't had a lot of things in there that have been like blowing my mind. Um, this one was just fun. Like I like the concept. Like it's makes sense. I don't think it does anything, to be honest. I don't think the chip is that close to the front of the screen. Like as far as I remember how we build phones, because we used to, it's on the other side. So that would just be at the back. And right now, that thing is taking heat from across the ball, which is debatable. But I get it. This is a an old Samsung that has been opened and basically put like a rad to cool it down. So yeah, I mean, it basically propped up your phone at an angle so you can watch things without doing anything, without needing a stand. It is very portable. It's also very pocketable. You can put it in your pocket with no issues. I mean, it's held with elastics. So I saw this, which was really good, and like good teeny tiny video of presentation of how things could look. I like the micro interactions. I think some of these are really good. They are using a bit too much fake glass here and there that are basically breaking their readability. But overall, it's an interesting thing. Going back to the bread that we were talking about earlier, so that person has created the Figma site thing, and so it's nice. It's a nice, uh, Figma site when you can see things. As we said, Figma sites in general are just bad. Like, uh, they have a P which is pretty good, right? We have a P, but the other things are just fucking div all the times when you could use an image. They have links that don't exist. We have something that is a header, apparently. That's new. Um, but god damn, nothing makes sense. Nonetheless, it's still bread and it's good bread, so we like it. We like it. And then this one is really similar to what Jay has done with the edges that are lit based on the content. Not the close by content, but it's pretty nice. I think I would have had this thing close to the icon though, on the side rather than on the top. Like the top makes no sense to me. But small details kind of help. I hate this for many reasons. The main reason is because we designed a logo that looks like this. Um, um yeah. So we had you want to know? You want to know? Um so that might give you an idea. Speech ID. Uh, this is during the Apple event. We had the whole reaction, and I did not go through and edit that whole video of shitting on glass because it makes no sense anymore. The main thing is, at least for me, it's good if you are someone that is like myself and that just uh, how can I say that, doesn't care about customization and doesn't care about wallpapers. Like, I mean, I don't have any wallpaper in. It's glass right now. You can't really see it, but it's glass. And it has some bugs, right? If I go into the edit things, it's gonna break and then load the glass effect, which takes a bit of time, but that happens. It's a bit, makes sense. Um, the thing that people have said with the gray that is really good for like transparency and shit. This is nice. And then most people stopped around here and said, oh, it's not readable. You know, I can't read the things. I still have my finger on my screen right now. If I release it, you can't read? Are you dumb? So the thing that we've seen, which is really bad and really sad, is most of the issues that we had for the liquid glass and the creation and things is like it's bad or it was bad in the presentation. Like the whole Apple event was showcasing things that were not accessible, color on color, weird transition that made no sense. And so when you just look at what Apple has released, it is shit in terms of the presentation they've made. It is the shittiest glass they could have done. And then I installed the beta version and I use it for a day and I'm like, it's perfect. Like there is no issues with the glass. Like nothing other than some accessibility issues here and there that like the example that we have is the App Store specifically because it used the new good job on lending. 11.11 is kind of, or 11.10 is kind of crazy as well. Like that view right here, the navigation at the bottom when I'm kind of starting to scroll, it's not necessarily accessible, right? Like you can't really see the things. On top of that, obviously, you're looking at it through the screen. So it has a bit of an effect and a bit of a, you know, uh, contrast ratio thing that is bumped. So the this is false compared to what I'm seeing, but it's kind of okay, kind of. So if I'm scrolling down, right, you can see how the glass itself is behaving and changing. Like right now, it's a dark glass. Right here, it's white glass, and it changes really really fast and pretty well. But like if I'm here, the currently selected tab is not good, right? You can't really see anything. Other than that, it's really nice. The transition in between like navigation and things is good. And all of that is okay if I go into another app that is really like native based. This one is the same thing. Also, the landing pad is right on top of the fucking navigation. That's crazy. That crazy. God damn. Today is a landing day, apparently. Congrats. That's gonna fuck up the thing that I'm trying to showcase. God damn. Let me just do that instead. So that we don't have the landing on the view. So right here, right, the scroll is giving us this kind of. I don't think I can be that close, to be honest. Let me just do that instead. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of bad. That's gonna be bad. So if I'm here, right, you have the navigation that is accessible. As soon as I start scrolling up, you can see these transitions are really good. And then the more I scroll, right, the more it's fine. But accessibility wise, there is this kind of glitch in the background where you can see the darkening that is glitching in and out. Like that's the thing that happens. And so that is okay. Not really an issue. Then I'm here and I reach a view that is really white or like, you know, really white. And so that is less accessible. So yes, hi, welcome in. Welcome back. How are you? How's the day going? Yeah, this one is really I agree. A bit of a flaw. Uh, I mean, it's not a bit. It is a flaw. The pistachio flaw. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie on this one. I don't like it. I don't like it. I was preferring much better. Much better. But yeah, that liquid glass thing is good. I know. It's crazy. The thing that is really nice as well is the contextual menu. Like when you're opening something, it's opening where it's supposed to open. So that's a very nice transition. If I go into the settings, for example, I think I'm going to be able to showcase that. That's going to break things. I'm not going to do that. Let's go into the accessibility because that's where we have the most things. Um, like on click and drag, you have this nice, I'm going to zoom in, this nice transition that's going to be a bit wiggly, but you know, like that, that's neat. It's click and drag. If you just click on it, it does nothing, right? And the thing that I pointed out last time is that I have something that is called a finger, and I know that Apple has never heard of this. And my finger is bigger than this glassy thing. So when I'm tapping or dragging things, unless I'm starting to drag and then sliding down to see how the animation look, I'm never seeing this. Like, yeah. I do like it. Like, I think it's a good direction. I think there is a ton of accessibility thing that needs to be implemented. As I said earlier, I think the Apple presentation is really shit. Like, the whole thing that they have made on stage was really shit. But I've been using it since it came out to test my app and shit. And it's good. Like, nothing really drastic changed. Um, all the content behaved the same way. The glass is okay. The I don't think I can do that. uh, like the thing that is kind of weird for me is this. Um, that search bar is blue, and right, the search bar is blue. If I go back here, that search bar at the bottom, uh, not blue. It doesn't go through as blue. So this is a weird thing in continuity. So yeah. Uh, so in the beginning, as I said, in the beginning it was really shit. When what I saw on Apple event, it crash presentation, crash rendering, the most hideous thing that they could have presented. And then when you look at their other videos to present liquid glass and what they have built and so on, it becomes more interesting. And then when you use it, you're like, technically there is no liquid glass happening, and I don't see it. Like if I had a new wallpaper, let's say I'm using a picture of something, do something that is kind of wild, right? Gonna be bad. So this is gonna be my wallpaper. I hate it. I hate it already. God damn it. I'm not doing push-ups. No, never. So if this is my wallpaper, right? And then I'm assigning this here, and that's what I see. Obviously, it's shit. And that's basically what they presented during the, the preview. And it's shit. Like there is nothing else to say. If I again come back here because that's gonna be way easier for you to see like the detail and shit. It is interesting, but it's really bad. Like I understand. I understand the people that said, um, like this is bad. Yes, I have dark theme activated. I think if I go in customize and I go into uh, light and then default, I will have something that is better. Like we have some glass here and there. Like I'm using clear, and then let's use clear light. It's even worse. That's also what people have been doing. Like they are doing the maximum that they can to showcase it as the shittiest version that they can, right? So no, I'm not doing that. So on release, on my phone, it's pretty good. I like it. But I like this better for sure. So yeah, I don't think there is one for the radio button. By the way, I'm just going back to through chain. NK, no, I don't. I don't have name. And now, for example, the search is now not blue anymore. See, like that's weird. Um, Not really. I mean, it does, but not entirely. Like, I would need more glass, which I will implement in the future for sure. But eh, I think it matched Can's initial style. Um, like the first design that I made basically looked like this. So yeah. And yes, that's also the pure truth right there. Like if I had uh again an image as a background, like a picture for background, obviously it's bad. But the way that Apple has done the wallpaper things for the wallpaper pair that they are doing, you have your picture in the most sharp version that they can be, and then on your lock screen, it's like the most sharp, and then on your home screen, it's blurred, so that it creates that difference with the background, which is really good. That's an option, but yeah, if you don't go with like a dark background or solid color background or something, it's just gonna be bad. So overall, I do agree that it's okay, and my setup makes it look really good and much better than what it is. So that's why I'm not really bothered by it. But if you are one of the persons that would go into um, what they have showcased for macOS Tahoe presentation, that's the wrong website. My bad. Um, do we have macOS stuff? Do we have OS stuff in there? I feel like we should have OS stuff, but I don't think it's on the store anymore. You know what? Probably much better. If we go into, let's say, design, and then I don't know if they have like a presentation of Tahoe somewhere. Um, I should just search the news. Right? No. How the fuck do you? Just there, just right here. All right, Beebs, Chabeebs, I guess. Khabibs. Welcome in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks a lot for chatting. I appreciate it. I wish we had something about the fucking icons because it would make more sense, but we don't because bitch. But this is shit. Like that's the presentation they wanted to showcase. No. Like this is again pure trash. If you think about it again, I have nothing. I don't like wallpapers. I don't like distraction. I want the least amount of distraction so I have things, and most of the time I'm cleaning up these icons and things because they are not useful 90% of the time. So it's just like stored in one of these folders, right? But this is shit. Like this is readability hell. Like it makes no sense. And that's what they have presented. So because of that, that's the main reason why I do hate it. When I'm looking at it like this, with no glass for everything, then you're good. But like the presentation they made about it in, um, I should just go there, right? That's where I should go. The tech rabbit hole. I decided to see who was streaming in this category. Well, I am, sadly. No. I am. I'm doing design stuff most of the time. And right now we're bitching on Apple's release because, we can. I wish we had. This could piss me off again. Oh, yeah, also that popped out. um, do we have it here? We don't. I guess Dub 25 is going to be the thing that we want to take a look at. And then this one is the official one. And the Tahoe thing is here. They have done, right about here, the presentation of glass. And basically what I'm saying is that everything they are showcasing that is with the themes is just bad. So if you are someone that is just accessing the existing things, like, do I need to say anything? Who thought that that was a good idea? Like, it makes no sense. Like that's the thing. The fact that you as Apple just said, yes, I don't know whatever is on my background ever, and this is what we're going to propose and showcase for developers to figure out that this is going to be good. Huh? Really? Like, I understand this. I mean, I understand. I don't understand, but like, I do. That's fine. Like, that's a fun thing to add to have on your. Um, I'm trying to do frame by frame, but that's just a lot of frames. Let me just, this is much more iPad OS, Mac OS things, but yeah, most of the things are okay. Like the news Spotlight is fine, like it works. It uses the old transparency material that they had, which is good. But like the main issue is really every time they have showcased glass as a good thing, as something to use and something to present, it's just shit. Like there's no going around it. Like this is good because they are showcasing something that is not liquid glass. They are showcasing a new app for games. And so, yeah, the content is nice. And then they are showcasing this that is transparent through the game. That makes sense. You don't want your native macOS thing to be distracting from the game that you're playing. So that transparency makes sense. Yes. But the whole thing of customization in the Mac is just pure trash. Like, it's so sad. It is so sad. Not a lot of people. There is a lot of people that are using the Mac as a dual boot, so that they have a Mac computer and they run Windows on the background. But a lot of people, I agree with that. So, like this is for the Mac is just like just crazy. It makes no sense, and all of their more point. I have things for you. Um, and then for the thing with iOS, most of the
Jan
liquid
Lunge just
glass.
resubscribed for 16 months. Hoo hoo.
Thanks for the resub. I appreciate it. Welcome on it. Welcome back. Let me see. Like all of these things that they have presented, when they used to present UI switches and UI pages, we had things that worked 90% of the time. Like iOS 7 was a bit of an issue, but like the rest was fine. These are curated elements, right? From here to the end. Like that's it. This is curated elements. That makes sense. This is okay. This lost me. This lost me. That fine. I don't care. Like I really don't. This lost me. You have a background that is not mine. You can't see your fucking clock. Like there's no question. It's just again, it's just like the whole presentation, the whole thing, the whole transparency that they have right here is just not good. Like this one looks like jizz on a screen. That's bad. That is bad. So I don't like it. And then I use it on my phone. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's really good. So to really answer the question, if you have your opinion that is locked to what they have presented, I get it. But it's just like most of the people that are devs, I mean, the people that are using it right now, not necessarily dev, but like the people that are dev that are using it to check if their app is compatible and if it works, and that have been using it for like a week or two, they're like, no, it's fine. Like, I see some glitches here and there, but I remember that it's a beta version. It's number 2. Like we already had a fix last week, and it's good. And it doesn't break anything. And most of the apps that I'm using are not this yet. Like I'm not using the native apps other than the gallery app, and that's it. So yeah. I think the one that I haven't tried is the iPad one. I think the liquid glass on iPad that's Yeroin that has that is really good. Um, but like their presentation, that presentation right here, that change in color, glass color, specifically here, that because of how fast it goes, that's really good. Like that rendering right here is really nice because of the image that is behind. If the image was still dark but with a tad more light elements, it will become unreadable, which is the case um, right about here. Like this is kind of weird. I feel like for readability's sake, the icons should be white. Like I think that would be better. But then if the icons are white, then the glass should be black, and that will fuck with how they have interpreted this. But then when you start scrolling, right, it goes from this, which is good, to on top of. Oh, damn it. Is it slow? There. God damn. It goes to this, which is, right, goes from transparent to here, and then it's realized that it needs to be like way wider and with a background gray thingy to make sense, and then it goes here, right? That system works really well, and I do like it. But again, the presentation's really shit. Like everything they showcased is really bad, and that's the sad part. Like this is really this is shit. And then you go into the map on your phone, and you're like, you know what? I'm fine with it. Like not much, but I'm kind of fine with it. They're not that. Like, like this thing is okay, and I'm on dark mode, obviously, and it just works. Like their kind of light thingy is interesting, you know. Yeah, sorry for the wiggles. Uh, but you know that's eh. It doesn't bother me as much as this. Like this is really shit. Also, I'm on dark mode, so that makes sense. But still, this is shit. You get my point? I think you get my point. uh, so yeah, if they did basically showcase something that was a bit more accessible and a bit more uh, thought through, then it would have made a lot of sense, and a lot of people would have been like, "Oh yeah, cool. That's a nice new design. We'll see how it looks." Some people will complain for sure, but like it's a nice new concept. As I said, like most of their things when it comes to navigation, like the way that they have their toolbar with navbar that interact with each other and reorganize themselves and rearrange themselves to be good. Um, and yeah, like that's really good. That the UX pattern that is going with that is really nice. It works and will work. The fact that they are bringing the search at the bottom of the screen makes a lot of sense. It's something that we have seen for Safari, that they have just rolled back the URL bar at the bottom because it makes more sense. And you know, like that's just UX and accessibility things where you need to have things that thumb reach because that's where you use your phone. Usually you are one-handed and do the thing there. That makes sense. So again, most of the things, good. Implementation, yeah, debatable. Presentation, trash. Like, that's really bad. really bad. Yes. Also, yeah, I have something for you. I said that a second ago. Let me just go back. That's for you. This is a design style that you might enjoy. Overall, for people, that could it. Um, yes, and I'm not saying that it's like uh, not something that already exists. I'm saying that it makes more sense. There is the this thing, right? That thing that we have. I mean, as designers, that's something that we have been using for I don't know, 20 years, roughly. Not really, but kind of. Since we've had like the iPhone first, and we had this, I have preached for putting as much stuff at the bottom of the screen so that the user could have access to it. So, yeah, that makes so much more sense. Usability wise, this is just what we need. Like, as humans, if you have a phone, you use it with one hand, your reach is limited. And the corner right here is a bit annoying, but, you know, it's the bottom. So, this is something that we have been preaching for a long time. And it makes sense to bring search at the bottom for a lot of reasons. But yeah, how is uh, how like no? I think it's out of way or hard. I don't know exactly what they call how. There is no OW. Maybe out of the way, out of reach type of things. Um, yeah, I mean, I do. And see that as an issue, but also, yeah. What we have been saying though, uh, yes, also yes, One UI is really shit. Um, the left-handed is the same thing. So that's why the thumb reachability thing that you see sometimes is this and or this one that we have, right? Right-handed, left-handed, so that you kind of see, and so the usual behavior, the usual thing that we recommend is have something that is in the combined version, so that both people type of left-handed, right-handed would have good experience, whatever preferences, yes, preferences are, right? So as much things in the center as possible. So that is why the TikTok share button, the Instagram post is right in the center of the nav bar because it will work for both hands. Um, that just makes sense, right? It's where there is the most reach for all types of people. Therefore, you do that. And right, there is a bit of a how can I say that, dilemma, because it's easier for a right-handed person to reach here. Like this is not good. This is easy, so it's not centered, but it's a bit on the side. And same thing for a left-handed person. So technically, the center is not the best for right-handed or left-handed, um, but it's good enough. Like for example, Here, I have an easier time, personally speaking, to reach either the dictionary or the radicals based on this. Bitch, can you get the fuck out? Thank you. Get out. Sorry. Right, if I have the palm of my hand that is around here, reaching the kanji is okay, and then this one is fine. This one is a bit hard, but it's the first tab, so I don't really care. And this one is a bit annoying, but it's the profile, so I don't need to go there all the time. So that's the reason you want the most active, most reached elements to be closer to the center of the screen. So that makes sense. But then again, here, for example, navigating these two things, what I did is that I introduce a swipe navigation so that if you want to go through your pages, you just scan because it makes sense, right? So that's the thing. The play button is a bit more complex to reach. Um, yeah, that's the thing. What I was about to say, and then I got carried away with something else, is right now we have Material U expressive or Material 3 expressive and liquid glass that are two extremely competing and different um, visual languages, which for once I think is a really good thing to have. Like as a designer myself, and from a designer point of view, having variety and different design language is annoying, so that I need to conform to both based on the app that I'm trying to build. But also it brings a lot more interestingness to what I'm building. So when you just take a look at how it looks, take a look at how it looks, yes. All of this, like very colorful and fun and interesting overall design, I feel like it makes way more sense. It has like a ton of things that we wished we had before, and it's doing something that is really similar to what Apple is doing. They released it before, like a week or months before, I forgot, and it's nice. Um, there are things that I hate. There are things that I like a lot about it. Um, yeah. At the end of the day, if you think about it for like a second, right? I'm gonna use Blender because it's this thing that is right there. That's what is in my head right now. If I'm on Windows or Mac OS or Linux, I have Blender. Blender is the same UI anyways. If I have an app that is like a custom app, let's say, I don't know, Duolingo, for example, and I have it on Android, on iPhone, on Windows Phone, somewhere else, I have the same UI to an extent. Like there are some things that are different because features are not the same, but overall they are the same thing. So, like that whole thing, that whole design system that they have put in place is just for the apps that want to feel like the system, which is something that most apps don't want to, which is some of the backlash that I received when I was, you know what? Like on this specific post, I need to clear things out. The amount of backlash that I received here about people saying, let me see if I can find it. It was funny. This one, right? Technically speaking, if I'm not following Apple's guidelines, there is a reason. I want my app to have some character, some identity, something that looks different than the system. Otherwise, I'm gonna build a system app. And if it's a system app, then I don't care how it looks. I just care how it works, which is also an option. But I want my app to have some sort of a design language and some sort of a character that would make sense for most people, and therefore you can recognize that, oh yeah, that's an app that has been made by Hey. Makes sense. So obviously there will be some design decisions that are different. So that pisses me off. But yeah. Also an ass blender. Yes, 100%. But this, right? You're building your app, and if you want the same thing as me, which is character and personality and recognizability, being recognizable, goddamn, that means that most of the things that you're going to use are not necessarily uh, system wise. That's it. That's it. No, no, don't worry. It was in my head, and that's why I had a very hard time to speak because I had to focus to not derail myself. Actually, high again. Um, I think if you do the thing that I have, that's that. But weird. Um, if you implement what I have in place right now, which is, what do you mean try again, bitch? Wow. 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 I need to record that. I mean, we have the stream, but god damn. Can I click on the navigation thing? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I can. That's so crazy. That's so interesting. Let me see if I can click on something that is a bit more intense. I can. Hey, I don't know what happens, but that's really good. That's a really good presentation. So if you do the same thing that I did, which is having the background blur being a bit stronger than what they currently have in their system default thing, which is really visible right here, which is appreciated. The glass is going to be good. So the flow that you're talking about for with a fix is going to be fixed basically with one of these, and that should be good. Better moldy banana is kind of crazy. Um, that's not what I need to do. I need to do this. Can I do this? No, I can't do this. Can I do this? And then do that. And then I'll put it again. Is it working? If it's working, cool. Close that. Good. Uh did I switch into a slideshow for the past 16 minutes? Is that what happens? Probably what happens. Am I back? Am I not back? I'm back. Sorry. Oh, the timing was nice. Indeed. The timing was nice. Like and hi also as well. I think I said that, but hi again. That that wasn't on purpose. But yeah, good job. Yeah, yeah, great. Hot pot, hi. Welcome on it. I got refused uh, by the application. They said because it's an on-site thing, we can't do that. But they still mentioned that you were the person that, I mean, not you that directly, but kind of. So, yeah, nonetheless. Yeah, and the main thing for me is if we get more blur in the background of things, we then get good accessibility for things. And it makes the app way more interesting. Like, for example, if I'm here, the blur is lower because it doesn't need to be good, you know. Like, it doesn't bother the readability. Like, the edges is not really annoying. However, here you kind of need to have a bit of blur in the background to make things make sense. Then when you're in a dictionary, I wouldn't be able to see like the buttons if they were not blur there. So if you have this as a base, then you kind of do. It's kind of great. But that's the fix that can be held with a bit more layer blur and a bit more uh, edge continuity thing that they're talking about. No, do UI not really? Kinda. I wouldn't go into my code right now to figure out why this happened because this has never happened on device. Like right now, we are looking at my phone through continuity, like this app right here, the iPhone mirroring thing, which is not uh, the phone behaviors, right? So because of that, the bug that I'm seeing here is probably not something that happens or will happen in the app for regular users, and it's the first that I'm seeing this. I have seen jumps in the past that go see some titties for a second, probably. No titties, so sad. One of the first posts that I made that kind of blew up on threads about me complaining about N1 being crazy. Like that was my main thing, and people didn't read the post or didn't watch the video as well. Was something that was interesting um, in terms of rendering. It's been a while though. Where is it? Yeah, that. Like if you take a look and you look closely at the characters, I have some issues there for no reason, but just that happened, right? So when that happened on my device, I went back in there and fixed it because yes, that is something that needs to be fixed because that happened for most users. This thing that we just saw, it's not something that will happen because it has never happened on my phone. It's also something that was uh, glitching because of the mirroring and not something else. So yeah. Um, what are you talking about, Ken? Did you did you said something to someone and then now that you have it in your head, you sent me a message that just contains the thing? Hmm? Hmm? I think the jiggle on 3 and 2 are okay. The jiggle on 1 is a bit too much. God damn it.
Stony
Tony.
underscore Eagle raided my stream with 12 viewers.
This man was live. Still live. Why? 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 I mean, why not? Well, come on in. Thanks a lot for the raid. I appreciate it. How was the long ass stream? How was it? How was it? For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm AOA. I'm the urban designer. If you have any design question, as always, feel free to ask. Tony is using the design that I've made for No Mercy, so you probably have seen things that I've made in the past. Right there. Right there. So, yeah,
Trauma!
exactly. Also, maybe, hi, welcome on in. And TBD, hi, welcome back. How are you? Tony has a face, but also not a face on stream, sadly. They should. Doesn't. Doesn't. Yeah. You should have notifications on the Discord, though. I mean, not that you care, but I see. I see. Good. Good. Cat, congrats. Good job. Good job. That happens. That usually happens when we have a chat with students. Yes. Uh, yes. Happens. We were just discussing some of the weirder activities that we had before on CAN. Uh, like this magnificent jiggly physic that wasn't supposed to happen, but still happened right there. Like that, was weird. So, and same thing, like this post specifically got so much traction at the time that it's just, eh, you know, you should. I'm not. I'm not shouting you out. Not what I'm doing. You've been here too long. So yeah, no, as always, like these types of things are the jiggly would be something that I would fix. The glitch that we just saw, not really. Which, by the way, for those of you who just came in, because that was crazy. Um, God damn it, wrong thing. That's what happened. Are you ready? Are you seated? I could navigate the app if I timed my clicks. But goddamn, that wild. Specifically the beginning, to be honest. Like that section, the part where it's extending, amazing. Amazing. I don't know how, why, what happens, but basically what happened is I launched the app on Mirror a bit too fast, I guess. And the actions kind of glitched, and we got this thing, which is really good because I can see that my navigation tray here is pushed up. It has like a bit of a max height, and the navigation bar also has like a good amount of distance from it. Like it is a consistent amount of space in between the two, which is really good. But I like it. It's pretty cool. It was really cool. So, fun bug. Fun bug. But yeah, when this happens, I'm not gonna go through finding the bug, finding what is causing this, and then fixing it. Because here it's not a bug, it's a bug with that thing, which is the mirror from macOS and not what I'm seeing. As I said earlier, like this search element is not blue on my phone. So basically what's happening, and I don't know how they figure it out, but my phone is basically running on my computer. Like right now, it's an instance of my device that is held on my computer to ensure continuity, but it's not the same thing. And even though they are linked together, it's not the same machine. I don't know how it works, but it works. So, you know, that's the that's what happened, and we can fix it later. What? All of that, like all of these systems, all of these navigations issues and such are thing that I would fix for sure. But most of also, does that work today? No. God damn it. But these are just things like that glitch, that big ass glitch. No, that's not worth my time. I have better uh, features to figure out, to be honest. Like the amount of thing that I have in the debug menu, like in there, right? Um, that that is crazy. Like this amount of things just to debug the app and check it out is just making no sense. Then I have these new things that came in today. That it's just wild. That is just wild. So yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. Oh, that could work. Yes. Oh, might be weird though. Potential. I'm saving this in my head. Cool. So the idea I just had is right now we have this to navigate between the two tabs. What if we had another one that from here would send you there? And then if you did another one, it would send you there. So you had like a full swipe navigation across the whole app. Maybe. We already have gesture control across like the things. So when you arrive on kanjis, you will basically have to do 5 swipes to reach, or 6 swipes to reach dictionaries, which makes absolutely no sense. But why not? Right? If you're learning N1 and then you just want to learn dictionary and you can just swipe through, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I might try to put that on at some point. Um, it's a good question. That is a good question. I mean, you can shout yourself out. That's that's fun. Good. Makes sense. You know. So yeah, what were we talking about before the raid? Also, how was the stream, Stony? I mean, you said you were good and you did good, but what did you work on? I know that Chris was there at some point. I saw that. Um, and yeah, yeah, it is. It's available everywhere. It's not. It's available on iPad and Mac through the built for iPad system. And so that is okay. It's not great. Um, it's missing some features, kinda, on Android compared to iPhone, but it's still there. So, like one of the things that I showcase many times is I'm gonna go there. That's gonna be way faster. If I'm on here and we have a verb, conjugation, pray, thingy, that is a concept that I had in my head for a long time, and I kind of wanted to have like a circular wheel to pick up the conjugation for Japanese verbs because that makes sense to me. On the um, Android version, it's a straight line and it looks like shit, and that's about it. And I don't like it. Um, but don't have feature parity for some of the things, obviously, like the CloudKit related um, things are iOS based. I can't do that. And the thing that I'm currently working on for the iOS version, which is the SRS enhancement, that is going to be ported to the Android version. One thing that I probably need to fix, like tomorrow or something, is someone has reported a bug that is really, really bad, as in um, this conjugation specifically, which is nakereba naranai, is on Android nakireba or nakireba naranai, which is absolutely false. And so if people that are using Android are memorizing this, this is a big ass mistake on my side, and I should fix this as soon as I can, because well, it's wrong. So you know, um, I see. That's good. That is good, Stony. Congrats. Have a good food section. Hi, Diggy. Oh, but yeah, that's the thing. The rest of the app is really, really similar, as I showcased around here. I think one of my first. You can also see that like that was the first version of the the Android version, which was really bad, but also kind of it worked, and then made it better, and so on and so forth. And then I think I have one right there, which is basically showcasing both apps side by side. Obviously, I'm biased. I do prefer the Android version. The iOS version, the Android version is kind of limited in terms of its transitions and things here and there. Uh, but it's interesting. The fact that we have the same content on both sides, almost 100% feature parity, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like this one obviously was after 2 months of work, and so obviously I had the iOS version first, so a lot more stuff to compare. But then I did like another one, and it obviously kind of worked. I forgot that this was the case. Um, but yeah, they are like really much the same. It's good. They have a lot of issues though. There is a ton of things in there that just don't work. Um, because I don't code, yes, but um, yes and no. It depends. So the main thing that I would say is that when I'm here and I'm just doing let's go into one of the very basic page, like the kanji view, right? That makes sense to me. The system of Apple, Swift UI, and Swift in general base is you have a body, and that makes sense, and that's fine. And then you trigger something in it, and you're good. And then in your main content, like you have another struct with other things with the content that you need to have. This is basically really bad. Like that whole main content stuff is supposed to be right there, but also it's not. I don't understand why there is like an iOS 16 thing, because that doesn't exist. So you see, like this is all of the stuff that just works with LLMs that just don't work. Anyways, syntax that we have in this whole thing makes sense compared to the syntax that we have on the Android version, but the Android version is also really good because I'm using a Jetpack Compose, or Kotlin Jetpack Compose, which is basically the exact same thing as SwiftUI, but for Kotlin. So the structure of the code is declarative as well, and so things make sense the same way that it makes sense in Swift for me. As in, you have an element and you want to have like a modifier on said element. You just say that you want a modifier and then you define your modifier, and that's about it. You want like a specific list of modifier, and you can do that as well. So that's syntax wise really similar. It kind of looks like TypeScript if you know TypeScript, and the same thing for SwiftUI for me. Like they look similar enough that I'm not looking around too much, but the way that they are naming things is way different, and it's annoying. I would rather have, I would say, personally speaking, I would prefer to code stuff. If I were to do the code myself, I would prefer to code stuff for SwiftUI than for Kotlin because of the features of SwiftUI. Makes sense. So basically, one of the things that we have showcased before is if I go into, let me see if I have that. Let me open app. Right. This thing is a very, very basic map, right? Like so far, no specifics. If it fucking loads, it will not, but if it does. And in order to achieve this view, I had to create a struct for the content view, which is the very basic thing. And it's followed by a map, right? And that map parenthesis thingy is giving me, guess what? A full working map without having to think about it too much. It's responsive, it works however I want it. It pinch and zoom, it has other things, and then I can add some modifier in there. I can have some placement, I can have some things inside of that element saying that it's automatic, saying that it has a camera view of something, right? Maybe it's map camera is 3D or somewhat. So all of these teeny tiny features that are additional that he added to SwiftUI are gonna make it way easier for me overall to build something faster. So that I did. I sent you the link. But apparently you were not here. I see. I will send it again. So these are the type of thing that I kind of like overall. Like maybe in this view, which is currently like just a simple element, if I just state that this is going to be a vertical stack, so I'm just going to add D stack with the parenthesis thingy that pops in and out, and then inside of that stack, I want the map to be at the top, and then I want some sort of a rectangle. And that rectangle is going to take a color red, right? It's going to take 50%. So it's just the map at the top, the rectangle at the bottom. That makes sense. And, you know, maybe that rectangle needs to be have a bit of padding for some reason. So I'm just going to add a dot P for padding. And then say that this is a padding of 16, which means that by default it is 16. But now it's padded at 16 inside. Cool, that makes sense. This, though, would benefit from having a bit of radius. So I'm going to have dot corner radius or dot something. And I'm saying that this is a corner radius of 16. that it's supposed to take that specific thing, because it is not before the padding, it's off the view. So now that I know that, going back to the padding, bring that up or bring that down, and then bring my corners. So that's the thing that basically makes to me, because it's declarative and visually based, like SwiftUI is visual based, makes a lot more sense for me to go with this with a dot style. Dot continuous. I think that's the fucking syntax. I always forget. Is it dot style? Just dot style? No, it's not. I forgot. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the type of thing that right now I don't know the syntax properly, so obviously it's broken. That's the thing that you can do in really no time, and my map is still work. So, you know, I would go with SwiftUI just because of how simple it is for a designer. I would go with Kotlin if I wanted to have something that is cross-platforms. Like if I wanted an app that would work on iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, and be good with it, I would go with Kotlin because it is cross-platform. Cross-platform. So the thing that I was talking about earlier is this. Yeah, that was a design that I think would be really good for you in terms of inspiration, was design number one. And then design number two is a bit higher up, which is green. Bright green, and you can do that in orange instead of bright green. But yeah, that's the other one, which I think is similar overall, right? It looks, god damn it, I sent you my likes, as in my whole like things. I thought I was on the right thing, specifically about to access that link right there. I thought that was here. My bad. My bad. I hate Kotlin for one reason. I'm gonna go there. That's it. That's it. You said it. You triggered me. No. I hate Kotlin for one simple reason. And it is the let me just do that. Find the things. So in my UIs, I think screen thingy, if I have the kind of detail view, for example, right there. And for some reason, you want to have, I'm going to say something wild. You want to have a button in your view. Right, something that is system-based. You need to import a fucking button. You need 60,000 imports for everything on every fucking page. Like if you, like right now, I have 56 imports just to be able to render this page properly. This makes no sense to me. And it makes no sense to me for one simple reason. Here, as long as I have the content that I need inside of this folder, whichever file it is in, it's going to be accessible. The compiler of SwiftUI is so much faster and so much better overall that the only thing that I need to import is, let's say, in my store view, I have SwiftUI right here, or in my plan view, I guess that's going to be much better. I need to import store kits because that's touching the store. That's it. But the map that we had a second ago, I needed to import map kit to make it make sense because I, launched the map. But that's it. That's the only import that you need to do. And that, to me, makes so much more sense than having to import the context, having to import the tab item, having to import whatever above the file to then be able to use it right about here. That makes no sense. And I hate Kotlin for that. Other than that, it's fine. Other than the import thing, it's okay. Like, other than that, we okay. We okay. There is a lot of things that are way much better or way more interesting, at least from my point of view, as a designer, again, than what I have in SwiftUI. Like, I don't know if I have any here, but like, for example, this thing, where you have the icon that is right there, and, it's just, you know that this is from the sidebar, you have an icon in this thing. It is represented right now. It's a black on black, so it doesn't really look like anything, but I can see that around here. And so also like right now, it's kind of broken, but I get it. I don't know what happened. Something happened. It's dead. It's dying. But yeah, like that's one of the things that I do like. There is also the same thing for college, as far as I remember, which is really nice. But we don't have this in SwiftUI. That I know. However, we do have this, and that's useful for dumbass like me. Because when I'm here and I'm like, you know what? I kind of need a button. Cool, that's how you do a button. Done. Oh, you needed a date picker. It's there. It's built in. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to import anything. It's just like, yeah. You need a thing. Cool. Import a or create a struct, have a date picker, be done. Shut up. It's there. Like you need that? Cool, done. You have the docs, and so this is like UI components, modifiers. If you want to know how to do like a badge, how to do an alert, how to do something, you have the docs. If you needed to have like some sort of a code snippets that exist for like, oh, we need API availability for like macOS, iOS. For me right now, I need to do some things for iOS 26 just to make sure that it works. That's going to be in there. And so I know how it works with this. Let's say I needed like an icon with SF symbols. I can just do that and have my symbol in no time. Same thing. Like based on the also latest version of Swift symbols or SF symbols, I have the ability to animate them when they enter the view, when something happened. And that's something that I did in the CloudKit weird ass screen. What is this? Let me see. I wish we had it. Did I put that here? I did. Right there. That specific CloudKit card right here is using these animation really badly, but it kind of is. And so that's the wrong one. That's the right one. My bad. I clicked on the wrong one. That's on me. That's on me. I can't read. Can't read. That's me. It looks bad. I hate it, but it's in your face enough that it works. Like these icons, the phone and the iPad are SwiftUI SF symbols, And then the checks, which are now broken and will probably break 100%, the checks are done with, what is this? Right about here, but right now I can't see that. Right about here. Yes, you have the transition effect on the check mark circles, and then um, good job. And that is basically what I'm talking about. Like this thing, the transition, the scale dot combine with opacity is what renders this. Like my iPad is moving slowly and my check is moving faster. And that's just the modifier that is based here. And again, because this is iOS and SwiftUI stuff, this is coming from system thing right there. And so with DSF Symbols app that exists, that is right here, if I go in Scribbles and I go in Animated and I just have the preview, maybe we have, I don't know, a scale, maybe we have something else, maybe it has like a looping system, like it's repeat continuously. It's just a very simple scale. Maybe it's something that wiggles at times. I just need to see how it looks. And like that's I would say that's the type of thing that you will have with the potential animation of things in a way that just makes sense. Like that's built in. I'm not a dev, but I'm blown away by the fact that this is free, even for me. Like the fact that you can have stuff in there that are properly animated, easily animated into, like, let's say that this is like a wiggle left and right, basically. And you have this as a hint on your button. And so when you see this, right, and you have that, and you have defined that it's a wiggle, it's an infinite thing, the whole symbols, or you have it layer by layer or whatever. Like layer by layer is going to be mostly on shit like this, maybe. Not here. I think wiggle is not going to work. Maybe it's a pulse. No, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you have the thing and it's good for you and it's like good enough, let's go back to the that was pretty good. Right? You have this and you're happy with this. And you want to implement this in your app. Just click there. And now you have copied the config for SwiftUI for this component, for this thing specifically, and you can just paste it inside of your code, like directly. It's a bit of a mess, to be honest. But again, as a designer that doesn't know how to code, if I go in there, I figure out how it works, what I can do. Then once that's done and I understand, I can then just go back, go into this thing, go into my transition, define that this is not a scale, this is supposed to be a wiggle, it's supposed to be combined, it's supposed to be with opacity, and all of these things are going to be really, really easy to achieve, like in no time. So, that I think that's the huge benefits from a designer point of view of SwiftUI compared to Kotlin. Just that everything is made for you, and you don't need to think much. So it's basically the same thing as Tailwind, which also native Wind is something that is similar. to Tailwind, but like for SwiftUI and other platforms. Nonetheless, the sad side of this, on the other end, because obviously I see both sides, is that I don't control much. Like, I need a chart, I will have whatever chart SwiftUI is providing or chart kits is providing. But other than that, it's going to be custom, and therefore it's not going to be as responsive, as efficient as whatever the native thing is. Like right now, I'm doing like a very, very non-native navigation, which is really bad. I'm having a lot of issues with it. If I'm going here, like this section there that contains like a lot of charts and things, that is like I'm limited to native stuff. As soon as I want something that is a bit more custom, I'm gonna have a hard time. Like for example, this thing took me 2 days. It doesn't sound like much, but for me that is supposed to spend things in 60 minutes, it's a long time. So figuring it out and making sure that we had the clicks, that it was aligned with the same or the right content, that is also loaded properly with all the thing that we needed to load, and so on. Like that is, it took a while. It's still broken, but it took a while. It's non-native. That's not good. Technically speaking, it's not good for performance. So that's the sad thing about SwiftUI. You are locked into the system, or as locked as you want to be into the system, and you know, it's limiting. Like there are things that you can't do or can't do easily. Let's say that you can do everything, but yeah, more padding, nah. Like one of the other thing that we also never really talk about, which was a bit of a pain inside of Android, the fact that the app, without having to do anything much, if I'm using the native system-based colors, I have both of my themes done, and it's just working. Like I don't need to do much about it. Like it's just there. Just understand what is currently selected, and that works. So yeah, I don't know what ASWLL is, but probably yeah. And I wouldn't say the ecosystem is messier. I would say that the ecosystem is uh, not optimized the same way as well. I can't read, don't worry. I don't know what you're talking about with paddings. That's the thing. More padding here on that corner. Nah. Like the iPad view is really nice as well. I do like it, to be honest. Works. Gonna take a while though. But while that loads though, I'm gonna pee. And I'm gonna be back, you know.
Rafiu design is now following.
I heard something. Right. Raphael, how are you? Welcome, buddy. Thanks a lot for the follow. uh, so, that is still not loaded with iPad view. God damn. God damn. The padding on my boxes for this. Yes. One. Technically more than one, but this thing seems to be broken half of the time now. So, you know, happens. Happens. The padding here is okay. The padding here is at 8. And I made that on purpose. But it's just a title that needs to get like a tad more at times. And because I'm still not sure of keeping this whole section, there is no need for me to spend time on the design right now. Like, this whole thing is probably going to go and be replaced by something that is way simpler or way easier to implement and manage, and just use the data as data for the DSRS and not data for the analytics, and then the analytics is going to come later on. So, yeah. But I do agree that some of the padding needs to be a bit reframed. So this one is pretty good. This one is fine. This one isn't. I know. I know. I had to do a fuck-ass calculation, to be honest. The because I'm using some sort of a design system E thing in there, I'm getting basically let me go in there. That might not be a good idea. You know, it's fine. Because I'm getting something, let me get like something with a fucking radius right there. So right here, if I had a padding bottom of 48, for example, with the new system that I have, if I add analytics, or I forgot if it's like dot analytics. No, it's analytics design system thing that is dot padding, for example, card padding is going to give me a very specific amount of padding. And so in order for me to get my corner radius to be good, I had to do basically the system is the padding minus the same thing. So the analytics, which is really bad from my point of view to have written down this long. Analytics design system and then dot corner radius to get the corner radius thing, to get my calculation to then work and do the corner and corner concentric thing, which is now in the new version of iOS just dot concentric, and be done with it. Welcome on in, Shady. How are you? How's you been? Welcome in with the raid. Are you with the raid? You might be. I don't think I see the raids. Anyways, like there is nothing in there. Nothing in there. This bitch has not loaded. That's crazy. Done a single page load so far. Let me just kill everything. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, good phrasing. Good phrasing. Nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about. Sometimes that happens. I know. I know. I mean, I wouldn't know. Xcode, can you figure it out, please? Can you just give me the preview? Like that's all I'm asking for. I just need the preview. That's I just the preview. Yeah, that's what came out. Kids, I mean, for some people, yes. I just did. Before the kids? Yeah, I know. That's a very Shakespearean way of saying it, but yeah, I wouldn't. Oh, I would avoid it for sure. For sure. Or at least I would try to avoid it if I can. Let's hope. Let's hope.
Criminally
It's not gonna work.
horny.
Yes. 100%. 100%. Let me build. Maybe. Maybe if I do that. Analysis for this is gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. Um so yeah, Mortal, maybe you were right. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what you meant by this, but yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Build succeeded. Cool. Can we have the preview? I just want the preview. Please, please give me the preview. I haven't checked it out on iPad. Oh. I have like to ensure compatibility with the layout as well, which was a bit of a mess. But I figured it out. Now it's good. Kinda. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh. I'd go faster with a simulator. I'm not gonna lie. It's just mild. The preview shouldn't take that long. That's just not good. Launch the sim. Just launch the sim. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They just need to attach. That's the thing. Probably gonna break as well. God dang. You see that the amount of time that we took on 31 out of 41 was because yeah, it's just has a lot of time there. Eh, yeah. And now it's broken there. Is it working there? Is it installing at least? It is installing. It's supposed to at least, right there. But uh it started. It started finally. I think this is a first launch as well, so that's gonna take a while. In the sense that there's a lot of things that launch in the beginning, like all that. That's the view on iPad, which I hate. It makes no sense. But I don't have a choice. Like this is what needs to happen. And if I rotate my iPad, I can't use the app, which is really good. So something to something to play with. But yeah, that's the overall iPad layout with the same content. So if you were interested in using the iPad version, you would have this, which for now is not good, but it's good enough to get the content that you need to get and make sure that you have like as much data, as much stuff as possible without like me needing to do something that is drastic and give me like a lot more information. Um, Most of these that are currently just floating windows, well, are floating windows, so they are going to stay there as sheets. The ones that are like right here, for example, if you want to swipe and you swipe around here, it doesn't work. You need to swipe around the center, and that's annoying. I know, but yeah, it's much better than having nothing, which was the case before. Before it was simply loading the iPhone app like Instagram is doing, which I hate doing. So that I'm happy with it. Like it's much better. But like this is not practical. Like that's not it's not that's it. It's just not. I wouldn't expect that to do anything. Like not that big. I know. Nonetheless, it exists. But now. Um yes, so basically the build for iPad is this. If you download it for Mac, you have it in build for iPad, and if you download it for the Vision Pro, which is also accessible with the build for iPad version, you end up with the exact same thing, which is really good. At least I think that's one of the benefits uh, of I can't change that. That's the thing. So this view specifically, I can't change the grid. Only thing that I could do is condense it to have them more in the center. But yeah, like here, yeah, that makes sense. I can display more characters and more columns, but because of how the Japanese language is, when you have the uh, kana table, for example, you will have something that is the same, and in order to retain the learning patterns that the current learner has, I can't have more columns. Like that's not really an option. Um, so I'm stuck with it. So the only option that I have is ensure that the hiragana and katakana columns are stacked, less space, or and that's the thing that I kind of wanted to do was on iPad have the entire um, elements be 1.2, 1.5 times bigger. But that's already the case. So yeah, it makes sense to have like more columns for these because, bitch, I see. That is not how it's supposed to work. God damn. I thought it worked. It doesn't. Um, fuck. Why though? Oh, well, you can learn your N5 kanjis. Yeah. Like same thing here, for example, for the dictionary, I feel like it would make more sense if I had two columns, because I have the space, and the white space in question makes no sense. So for dictionary, I might do that. Have my entry side by side with a lazy grid instead of score you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I don't think you should use the iPad for learning. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So maybe don't. But yeah, that is the situation right now. I mean, technically, the situation that I have right now is I need to fix the analytics and data spatial repetition system data, and then once that's fixed, I can fix the design. But I also need to fix the fucking Android version. So that is a lot of work. No reason. For no reason. Specifically, when again going back to where I was earlier and what I was talking about by there. Right? June 19th. I'm already at 5:03. Makes no sense. But yeah, also that I did this weird ass thing um to check. $30. This is just since March. Since they like enabled the analytics, a bit better analytics. And that's just lines, just chats. Yeah, and have a good rest of today. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Uh, they did. I'm still locked because I'm on the business team plan thingy, and I can't. Like, I would love to exchange what I paid for and go into their new plans because they make more sense for a lot of things. Like that Pro is that Pro is unlimited agent requests and things. There is still limitation, which is annoying, but yeah, um, like they are not necessarily explaining everything, and like there is no compare plans type of situation, which I wish there was. Because right now, like if I paid $16 a month for a year, I would pay less than what I already paid for the previous plans. So I would rather do that. And I can't get this because I'm on a team. So I'm here and I'm supposed to have everything that is currently in Pro plus the things. But no, I don't, because I'm on the legacy team plan. They piss me off. As I said before, the initial plan of Cursor was 500 requests, 500 fast requests for $20 a month. And then they let you add more fast requests. So at some point, I was paying $40 a month for 1,000 fast requests per month. And I was basically burning through my first 500 in 10, 15 days roughly. And then the next one, same thing, 10 days. So I had like 10 days of leeway at the end of the month where I didn't really have fast requests, which was fine. Now, going back to what I showcased, not in here, going back to what I showcased uh, there, because Cursor is 100% farming their tool core and other things, I'm ending up with 500 requests that I've done since the 19th. And because I thought that the team plan was 1000 requests, because that was the initial thing, I upgraded to team when it was the case. And I got downgraded basically for more money. Like for $40 a month, I had 1000 requests. And now for $32 a month, I have 500. So, ain't so bad. Yes and no. Like I'm sure that there is something in their systems, in their system prompts that is stating things. Like there is no way that that works. There is no way that I I'm on paid tier fast request and I'm getting the model to do things in many, many, many steps. And the instant that I'm back on free tier slow request, it does edits of 320 lines, new files of 500 lines, edits at multiple spots in the same file at once. Just when I switch, like when I'm back into free tier, um, it's just goes into that. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. Yes, I do most of the times, just because it makes sense. But yeah, like it it is crazy to me when I'm looking at the things, and I'm like, um, I guess the review migration might be a thing, but most of these are really, really tiny edits here and there. Like we have a 51 right here, which was really impressive on that day. But most of them, and you can't see them, but they are like 10 things, 16 things here and there. And that was in the in the paid tier. And then as soon as I went here, we ended up with stuff. Like if I go back at the top, I should go back like at the top. We have things that's 190-ish in total. Just like it just makes no sense. No sense. Um, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why I have multiple things at once. Like I'm going through, um, that's the wrong thing. Going through, also, I love that. Here and then back here. I'm going through load through here first. I get the output that I need. I get the definition, the PRD, and all the thing that I need and I would do as a designer for design work anyways. And then once I have this that is set up and organized and proper, the model is less paranoid, I would say, because it has the directives that are stricter overall and way more detailed. Like that makes sense, you know? It helps. Oh, I did 8 times for this feature already. Like I'm considering a ninth time now. Yeah. This is the type of thing that I'm doing all the time. As we've seen right about here, if I go in the live section and we go into shit, that's not here. That's gonna be on Twitch rather than um I have tried, yes, but it's not I'm not versed enough in Git to make it make sense, and the merge doesn't work. So yeah, but I do have, if that's what you are kind of indirectly asking, I have stuff for like the sync. I have stuff for systems when I did the combine key, which is the thing that I need to fix and push. Like I could just go into this one, push that to production, and then go back to what I'm doing right now. But I merged something into main right now. I'm on the main because it just makes more sense. But I have some stuff. It's just that right now I am too deep in the thing. Like technically where I need to um where I need to go back is basically here. Not even. I need to go back um I guess there or here. No, not even. Here I already have the timeline charts, which makes no sense. So uh I should go into here. Um Around there. That's the beginning of the SRS and analytics sections, but even there, that makes no sense. That would be the latest things. So I need to revert roughly 20 days of work. That's not good. So right now, what I'm thinking about, which would be easier than reverting, would be to delete files directly. Just states where from here we want to remove this entire analytics section, and I'm just going to go into analytics and remove that entire thing on its own, and just say, well, I'll clean up the code to make sure that we have no analytics in there. We still use the SRS sections, which is good, but analytics, no. So that's an option. I don't want to do that, but I might have to. But no. And in order to do that, I would probably do a branch or like from main to get like the cleanup analytics and then merge. But I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of working today, but that I'm fine with it for now. But also, I'm not fine with it. Like one of the easiest way for me to check if it's really working or not working is simply to go into the profile view and remove my analytics section. So I have the lazy analytic card that is right there, and could simply just get removed or commented out, and that alone might absolutely change all of the stuff that needs to happen. Like because there is no data that is cold when I'm navigating to the profile view, there is probably less lags and less hangs. Yeah, still a bit of a glitch. Uh, no, it's kind of faster. It is kind of faster. Yeah, like that's the type of thing I would say that I could do potentially to make things better. Uh, but that's not enough. Like that's bad. That's a bad move. That's a bad move. So that's why I'm saying like it's probably time to rethink the navigation, rethink the structure, rethink the whole thing, start from scratch. While this one is like working, um, using the current data model that I have as a base, and then work on that. Um, and then things should be okay. To have like some sort of a migration. But yeah, starting from scratch would help for sure. It's just the migration from current state to new state would probably break most of the users' uh, progress, and I want to avoid that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not resetting too much. So, details, stuff. Yeah, things. Just just things. Yeah, like the addition of CloudKit made the app way more unstable, which makes sense. The addition of SRS was fine, and the addition of analytics is what broke everything. So, because I've been working on the analytics and space repetition system for months, I can 100% revert again. But it seems counterproductive to do that. Like right now, everything works. Like the sync is working, the analytics are working, the SRS system is working as well. It's proposing and sending um, like the right elements at the right time for the right things. Did I say right things again? Like all of the sections and things that I have around here. Uh, can you get the fuck out? God damn it. Um, yeah, byte reset user progress is one of the things that I want to avoid as much as I can. And I kind of want to do something about it, but I also feel like it would be bad. uh, like because I have the CloudKit container that is allowing paid user to use and sync their progress to never lose their progress. It has a very specific structure, and I can't really deviate from that structure. Like I heard, but the least I deviate, the better it will be. So that is already like a two. Not because I have so many paying users that are using the CloudKit Sync, but just because it could be like for at least one paying user that would lose their progress entirely would make me bad as an app dev, right? The regular users that are not paying, losing their progress is already really bad. But if it's someone that is paying and is expecting a specific level of features and apps and behaviors in there, I don't want that. So right now, I'm kind of stuck in a thing that is just that. It needs to be very, very clean, very, very good when it comes to the updates, and Yeah. Like I have made one of the backups, if I can find it. Before merge. And then I'm just like out of it. What is that thing? I can't find it. It's fine. Yeah, like 28 days ago. Yes. Yes. Ah, it's just it's a lot of work wasted if I just revert, and I can't really cherry pick some of the things that I currently have put in place. Like I could, but I kind of can't because of how they are interlaced. So if I just cherry picked some of the kanji and character, like how did I call that? Reframing, whatever, um, resolving character system. That that would be easy to put back in place. To be honest, that's the thing. But yeah, like that's the thing. Nonetheless, the thing that I was looking for here, in terms of that, I can find my VODs. That title right there is what I do. That's what I do. Like when I basically work on something, there is a point every time where I'm like, well, let's just reset to the last commit that just worked, and it's just easier to just reset the entire thing. And the amount of time that I've done the tilde with 12 next to it because I need to go back down 12 steps. It's pretty bad, but it's what happened. It's what happened. So, yeah. But I do think, in a way, that a revert wouldn't hurt much because now I kind of understand what I have to do in terms of dictionary combined key systems. So that's an option, and then the character resolving system for the progress is also something that I can put in place really quickly. But as I said, I could 100% go back into a new branch from a point that is like way before I added the sync system or something, and then, or just when I did the sync system, and then add the fix that I need, send that to production. So that's users that are currently experiencing these bugs have something that is fixed, or I can just wait about a week and a half, I guess, of work from myself, and then have an entirely new feature set that also fixes the bugs. That will probably introduce like a lot more bugs as well. Yeah. So I don't know. The thing that we add, like right here, in terms of uh, how can I say that? Dogs that we've seen. That's the word that I was looking for. God dang. The logs here ensure so much of no progress loss by basically having storage on JSON file while the migration happened. Um, so, you know, like that whole thing is, yeah, also, I just see that now. That's wrong. That's interesting. We need to check it out. Nonetheless, things. But yeah, it's a lot of decisions, a lot of things. On one side, I'm losing a month of work, which is fine. It happened before. On the other side, I'm introducing so much more stuff that is beneficial for the paying users that I might do that. I might just try to take like 1 more week or 2 weeks of fixing what we had and then figuring out if we can use it. But the thing that I just did by hiding the analytics section is going to probably work and make sure that everything is just on point. But then, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. That's the situation, I would say. Uh, I will give myself a week and a half ish. If that works, it works. Doesn't work, I'm gonna revert. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. However, my head hurts. To find someone to rate. I'm dying. We just rated my on Friday, so that's not where we go. I was about to say we haven't rated Bloodbot in a while, but in the middle of something. That is live, but that's not really a good thing. Stoney, do we have anyone that is live right now that you have knowledge of? Haven't we? And she's playing Honkai, so that's fine. For some people. Also, she has a massive win. Yes. Let's say that. Let's say that. Let's say that. Massive what? I don't know, but she has a massive one. I pressed the button. You are too slow. As always. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for like proposing someone. I appreciate it. If you want to watch the VOD again for some reason, listening to me ranting about Apple again, please do. But that's going to be on YouTube. If you have a question and not live, as always, this is going to be on Discord. I shall be back on Wednesday. If all goes well, unless I'm dead, which could happen. We never know. Nonetheless, if you want to learn Japanese, as always, we talked about it all day, and I haven't pressed that button F often. And yeah. Dang, you know, dang. Yeah, no, I'm fine with no shadow. I'm fine with it. For those of you who don't know, Cat is a variety streamers-ish type of thing with a lot of derailing. So enjoy that. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something, drink something, be kind to each other. Yeah, right. We are getting out. Have fun. And bye.